Hello everyone, we sound like the Jug Gamer and welcome to Katawa Shoujo. This was actually mostly gonna be me reading. So yeah, that's good. Honestly, the only skipping part is the beginning. Considering now it's Saturday, it's the day before the festival. Everyone just wants to leave class to get last minute preparations done. And he wants to speak to us. It's been about a week since we actually have arrived to Yamaku. Therefore, he's curious about things. How we're doing, our condition, if we are learning, if the material is too difficult for us. And yeah. And he tells us that the point of Yamaku is to maximize potential. Not that this is just a place for us to learn, but for us to actually experience. So, yeah. Honestly, it's not that bad. Every week is the newest scientific discovery. Might not change the world, but every single one might. Well, every single one has a chance of. And of course, Muto is the boss. Even if no one tells him that. Okay. Honestly, this is really interesting. I wonder how many of these I'm gonna have to, like, actually read out. I know that this part of it is really going to be, considering, yeah, Saturday and Festival Day is very unique to the person. But anyways, there is Hanako waiting for Lily. Hanako goes up to Lily, they talk for a moment, Lily leaves because she has stuff to do, and Hanako is dejected, sad, and sitting at the desk in boredom. Then leaves to the library. And since we're not on either their route, we don't chase them. Instead, we go... Oh, fuck, I'm supposed to be reading this. Buzzing around like little walker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by, left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. Like, I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all my spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I do. I drop off my books at the dorm first, and then... something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji's in his room. What would you waiting with him? I looked in the dorms. I spot Emmy coming my way. Running, despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her, and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hassao! Spatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is wide as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she's examining me. What you doing? Nothing really. I don't really have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. Yeah, Bruno, yes. That's perfect! Then you can help me and Vin! With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be of much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. Jeez. The stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. Who knows? We go all the way to the third floor and the senior's hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just have well just stayed here waiting for Emmy had I known. Yeah. Didn't really have to walk all that way. But exercise is exercise. So is Rin walking on that mural still? That's right! She needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff. So I went to get them from the art classroom. I'm giving Kamisha's voice. And you need me to help with that? Well, Vin told me you already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. Second floor, same as the first. The room is empty apart from ourselves and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, taking out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. So list of supplies. While she tries to make sense of the scrawling handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials like around here. Sorry. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most unorganized fashion. Some look like they have left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Honestly, they possibly were. Next is a heavy stack of neatly piled drawing papers and boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. Smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to the markings on the various paint cans, passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look at the topmost shelf, but it isn't quite enough. Her eye stays below the shelf, no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks at the shelf longingly like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them and catch what she can. You're gonna hurt yourself doing that, Emmy. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be helpful. Come now, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not! She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. She is bad. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but she can't come up with a retort. With a grudging humph, she turns her back to me. So, I've been squatting around the top shelf of paint while below, Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. She very much... I shake my head a little, after double checking to ensure that she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. Yeah, there's a lot you don't know, buddy. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Yeah, I have a friend that does not like when we change his name. Had a whole blowout for it. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk like a treasure hunter spoils, to realize that it wasn't necessarily the height job that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. Actually, yeah. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten about it already. Quick to anger or quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters her way happily while we pick up the rest of the items and make our way back to Vin. I, chivalrously, carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. That sounds like something I would most certainly do. Vin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea, but it looks good to me. But with Vin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. Ugh. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak. And he giggles at that, as well as my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind. She's a little weird sometimes. Weirdness is good. Normal is bad. Only that I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Vin's whatever it feels so to her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do. They're still working as a single entity sometimes. It's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Vin are. And Vin is the most difficult of them all, different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again, as if to encompasses Vin's personality by itself, but really, it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Isn't that what it means, though? Emmy giggles as I grasp for about for a proper descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier, she's just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles away, and that makes me think that she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All the time! The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange, or imaginary, things populating the spaces between. It looks nice. I can't say of any other word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settled for a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier, at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Vin herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozily as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drying spectrum of war paint similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Vin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was fast. Did you run in the corridors again? Hisao helped me. Emmy points victoriously at me. Vin turns around, following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant glaze stare that focused slightly off of me. A move is like in a slow-motion movie. Hello, Hisao. Thanks for helping me. Don't mention it. I just did. Never mind. Looks like you made progress. Looking good as far as I can tell. Bad luck. 7 years. But now you get more bad luck. I know, but I'm willing to take the risk. That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course. Not for you. You're now bad luck, Vil. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance. Their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Law of the universe? Unless they are blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art club, you see? Blind boy. So he doesn't see. You already told me. I glance always at Amy, and she glances back in a way that tells me she heard this one before too. Vin must have talked a lot about him then. Neither of us says anything to Vin, though, so she continues her monotone soliloquy like a unfunny stand-up comedian. He should become an artist. No bad luck. Guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea? That only blind people should become artists? No, not as such. You might have a point. Abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I recognize but can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. Emmy, I need the Persian blue paint. Which one is Persian blue? She is staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. Oh boy. It's the one with the Persian blue paint in it. We don't know which one that is! Jeez, Vin, you're not helping at all! I look around as well, even though I don't know what Persian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Persia. Or what Persia even is. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. While none of the blues look more Persian than the others, the small print of labels is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Persian. There's no Persian blue here. Emmy heaves a sigh. Well, I have to go back and get some. I promised to help with our class project though, so I'll be back a bit later. Can you manage without it for a few hours? Vin nods and so Emmy leaves. If you're wondering, Persia was a German state. I say because I liked watching Vin paint, and because I have nothing better to do. I sit down on a box and pick up today's book for my bag. It's a story about 3 guys drinking beer for 2 weeks straight and doing little else. What TV show does that remind you of? Vin moves from the spot that was in need of blue and starts slowly working on another. Her foot works the brush steadily against the plastering wall, layers of paint on top of layers of paint. The mural slowly gains more form. I turn the pages at a leisurely pace. In this chapter, they are drinking beer at the protagonist's friend's place. In the previous one, it was the protagonist's own apartment. It's not a page-turner kind of book, a slice of someone's imaginary life that makes me wonder why it had been written. Because it's a slice of life. Why indeed? The reason for doing something creative is something incomprehensible. Like, why Vin paints? It feels like she and Amy are the same, going squarely against her face as if it's just out of spite. Vin even said something like that. Do something you can just because you can. Is that what she meant? Is that her reason? It might be Amy's. She comes off as quite a headstrong person. Vin doesn't give that kind of air. Think about it, she doesn't give off any kind of air. Or maybe a different kind every time I talk with her. Why did she say what she said? Why does she, or anyone at all, paint, or draw, or sculpt, or write? I never had much of a creative pulse, so I don't think I can really understand it. It makes me feel hollow inside. What a grim thought. Can't really decide whether it's true or not either. Am I content being this way? Can't deny I'm feeling a little bit envious of Vin, but I can't really consider it a flaw of any kind. I'm myself, and she is herself. Still, I do need something. Something that could make me feel a little less lost about myself, instead of just drowning myself in these books as I did in the hospital. I can't help but feel disoriented. The new school lifestyle, and people around me contribute heavy to the sensation. A lot has changed, buddy. I'm trying my best to fit into existing social circles, and most of the people I met have been really kind. It feels like I'm an outsider though, and I don't belong. Shake all the feeling off, realizing that I'm spacing out, and I've neither turned the page of the book nor done anything for Vin. She's trying to pour some paint from a big can using only her feet, having not bothered to ask me, or maybe she did and I didn't hear it. Either way, it looks very unstable. I quickly jumped to help her, as it looked like she was about to spill the entire contents on the can all over the pavement. I took the can from her feet and poured some in the bowl. She doesn't say anything, and neither do I. I catch a glimpse of her eyes, looking silently at me from under her unkept bangs. It's an unreadable expression, a perfect poker face, mixed with a hint of something like a mild surprise. Never see it coming. I wonder what she is thinking. Maybe she's wondering about what I'm thinking. Maybe nothing. A penny for your thoughts? Do you have any pennies with you? I don't think I do. Then I don't think I will tell. I'm not thinking about anything either. It's in your luck. Except now, I just did. She frowns, looking very unsatisfied. I wanted that penny. It's hard to not think about anything, but it's important. I'm about to ask why it's important for when some old guy walks up to us, looking like he has some business with Vin. Good afternoon! How's it going? I can make it. Vin doesn't take her eyes off the wall and responds so naturally that I can only assume they know each other. I haven't seen this man before, so I naturally wonder who he might be. Maybe a teacher? Possibly the art teacher? His hair has faded to a silvery gray, so much that it looks artificially dyed. I hope that's not the case. Small round glasses hang on the bridge of his nose, but apparently he's constantly looking over the lenses rather than through them. I know that feeling. He's studying the mural intently over said glasses. Good, good. What bold composition you have here! He moves to inspect the mural closer, talking to himself about it in a way that makes it obvious he wants us to hear it too. Very good. Very good indeed. I really don't know what to make of it, but Rin doesn't seem to care much. She's looking over her working space, the various bowls of different tones scattered all over. Hisao. A little more of this. Give me a second. I pour a 50-50 mix of two paints in a bowl to create more of the same pale pink tone Rin was using to fill up the shape of a man's face. Rin watching me doing so, which makes me feel nervous somehow. Her face is so unassuming that it feels like she's just waiting for me to do something wrong. The man turns to look at me as well, looking surprised as if he noticed my presence only just now. Maybe he did. Why, hello there! Who might you be? I'm a transfer student to class 3-3. Hisao Nakai. Nice to meet you. Budo's class, eh? I won't hold that against you. He laughs very loud, obnoxiously loud. A few small birds take flight from a nearby tree. I'm Shinichi Niyomiya, the art teacher. So this is the art teacher. In retrospect, should have guessed that much. He even looks like one as far as first impressions go. How did you come to end up assisting my protege? I wish I knew. I'm pretty sure the answer here is I'm interested in the art club. Actually, since this is post, I know for a fact that's the answer. Pretty sure I was just stuck with her is not the correct answer. However, since this is post commentary. Oh, never mind. I guess I'm a little interested in the art club. Thought that was gonna take a bit longer. I blurted out, partially inadvertently. What do you mean? Nothing specific. I wonder if I could come by sometime? Even if it's just to absorb or something? I've been thinking that I should join some club or something, so it's no way to premeditative move, but thanks to determination has really been building inside me for this past week. I want to do something. I want to do something. I want to belong somewhere. I did not mean to do that. It might as well be the art club. My shortcomings are recited. The teacher seems pleased. Oh, you want to join? Well, we always welcome new people, of course. Club meetings are normal enough. We study various aspects of the fine arts and try our hands at them as well. Or feet. He gives an embarrassing cough. But Rin doesn't seem to mind. Take a small amount of comfort that the fact that I'm not the only one with vocabulary difficulties in this school. Vocabulary, that's what it was. Nomiya rebounds from his fox past by theoretically checking the time from his huge gleaming pocket watch and sets his forehead even more dramatically. I really must take my leave now, but if you have questions, I'm sure Tezuka can clarify. Somehow mentioning clarify and Rin in the same sentence doesn't feel right. However, I don't say as much to the teacher, and as he seems to be in a hurry. Tezuka, I'm pleased to say this little project is going so well. I just stopped by to remind you to not run off by yourself tomorrow. I've invited certain people to the festival for you, and I'm sure they'd like to meet you as well. I hope I'll see you on Monday then, Nakai. By the way, reminder, this also happens. The teacher leaves, and we are left ourselves again. Rin is still painting as if nothing notable happened, since nothing in fact did. I am left wondering what on earth is wrong with me. Because we're helping her, so she might not get the mural done, and yeah. And I haven't worked well together in the past, at least judging from the grades I've used to have in middle school. Maybe a club will be different than an obligatory class? Who knows? I tried to come up with something meaningful to ask about it, but to no avail. Because they'll still get invited to see this. I'll just go to the club meeting and see how it goes, even if we're on anyone else's route. So he invited some people tomorrow just to check out your painting? He has a lot of art people friends. They like to talk about art. I think he wants me to talk about art with them. Somehow I get the feeling that you aren't too thrilled about it. Ridge shrugs non-committedly, but it still gives the impression of a general displeasure of the idea of having to discuss a painting, or any painting, with other people. I don't really like talking about art. It is already a way of talk without talking, so why bother talking about it? I can understand that. That's what you understand. It's like being bored. Talked about being bored because you're bored. I'm bored. I'm not following you. No, that makes sense to me. Have you ever talked about being bored? It's pointless and not very exciting. All you can really say about it is, I am bored. I only spent a week trying to think of something meaningful to say about boredness. It was the most boring week I've ever had. Sounds like it. But that's pretty fitting, don't you think? Vin gives a look, the laconic kind that looks like it doesn't mean anything, but it does. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I just barely can come up with anything to say about art. I mean, like, this is what you're doing now. I have no idea what to think about it except that it looks nice. What's the painting about? It's not about anything at all. That's what I'd like to say, so I did. But that was a small lie. I said it anyway because I would have kind of liked it to be true. Teacher wanted me to do this, but I didn't have any ideas. I tried to have some, but nothing happened. So now this is the painting, without any ideas. But what are you painting then? No idea. Come to think of it, I think I'll call this No Idea. And now I started thinking again. This is bad. She shakes her head vigorously for a while, trying to shake thinking out of her head. The amber red hair flies wildly around. I love how she just like swaps between two portraits to represent shaking. This is why I have Emmy help me. She makes it easy to not think about anything. You know how she just talks about nothing for hours? It's like her head is made of bubblegum from foam bath jelly. You're kind of the same, but not really. It's very helpful if you stay here. Thank you? I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. It's probably neither. With Rin being the overtly neutral person she is. So is there anything specific you'd like me to do to make you not think? Just be. Just be? No think? Got it? Return the monkey? So without knowing what I should do, I just sit on an empty box to watch her continue with the painting, idly leafing the pages of the beer-drinking book. Vin with a serene expression on her face, her dark green eyes hiding what she might think behind them. Oh wait, she's supposedly not thinking anything, right? She quietly hums to a tune, interrupting every now and then with the polite request for more paint or another kind of brush. Give me some more paint, please. Her concentration is admirable, even though she seems to be sleep-deprived and under pressure to finish the job. Inch by inch, the painting gains more foam, details being added on top of details, colors entwining with each other, filling the empty spaces, growing on top of each other. I find myself thinking about inspiration and motivation to create art again. I really need to get around to creating art. I have some ideas, but I need to charge my 3DS because that's what I draw on. Where does one get ideas? They don't come out of nowhere, and I don't think there are muses that magically inject some inspiration. Ideas have an origin and purpose. The more I think about it, the more convinced that Vin is lying about her mural, or at least twisting the truth. Maybe she doesn't even realize it herself. You can't do anything creative without having an idea of what you are going to create. That would go against the definition. Every stroke must be decided to be drawn, even if it's made at random, then that, too, is a conscious decision. So a painting, even this one, must be based on some deliberate goal or idea of what to paint. If Rin's idea is to have no idea, as she said, does that count as having an idea? Logical paradox? That seems to be Rin's modus operandi for most normal interactions, so it wouldn't surprise me if she had noticed this herself. I wonder if I should bring it up, but I'm not sure. I don't want to engage in an argument about logic with a skull. I'm getting philosophical! One of us will probably end up short-circuiting fairly quickly, so I discarded the thought. I can see that happening. Ben is squirming and shuffling restlessly. Even her usual blank visage breaks occasionally into pretty difficult-looking expressions, the kind that one doesn't just come up with accidentally. Everything alright? Yes. No. My back started hurting again. This painting is too big, after all, and it's hard to paint in this position. Want to take a break? After I finish this part being the entire thing. Of course you do the take a break, and I don't bring it up again, because that would be completely and utterly pointless. Vic continues her work, and I stay with her. I like to watch her paint. Ah, I'm going to be a member of the same club she's in now. I woke up not that long ago. Why am I tired? When she declares the meal to be finished, it's already so dark that I have no idea how she can tell. Apparently we got the paint. This is no celebration, no general sense of a job well done. Just a tired and laconic, I'm done, and then we both go to sleep. That's all for this time. This has been Something to Jug Gamer. I hope you enjoyed the series so far. And hope to see all you guys again next time for the festival. See you guys there.